Welcome to the virtual adult improv show with the LA Connection players. I'm Ken Sco, the founder and owner of the LA Connection. We're celebrating 47 years of dishing out fine comedy improv, our theater in Burbank, and we've been online for going on 4 years in April. We do both short and long form. Tonight we're doing a long form piece called Divorce Court. So let me introduce the crazy cast of Divorce Court tonight. Jody will be playing the wife.
Hola, how's it going?
Michael, the husband.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. I'm the husband.
Jason, the wife's lawyer.
Hello, thank you all for watching.
Paul, the lawyer of the husband.
My client is innocent, Your Honor, and I stand to prove that today.
Their kid, 15-year-old Will.
Whatever, man.
And the wife's mother, Michelle.
Hello there, the mother of all mothers.
If you guys could just wait outside the courtroom for a second, I'm going to talk to our home audience here. All right, they've all cleared out of the courtroom. So here is the deal. This is the first time we've ever done the divorce court with this cast. We did one on Sunday, so it debuted Sunday. This is the second time we've done it. You just heard the cast of players. So we're going to be going through today. I'm an arbitration judge. I'm not a jury judge, so there's no jury here today. I'll be making decisions based on all the information that they provided me on paper prior to them coming here today through their lawyers, and also by talking to them individually and in pairs today as well to make some sort of determination. Now, they don't have to go with my determination. They can appeal it and come back to a different arbitration judge. Hopefully they might be able to work it out on their own, but if they can't, that's why they've come to me. And it sounds like usually when they come to an arbitration judge, I have to do my work and try and figure it all out. So let's bring everybody back into the courtroom now. Okay, thank you all for coming into the courtroom. I'm Judge Scove. I have worked with both Paul and Jason before, so it's nice to have you back in my courtroom again. I know you both worked for the husbands and the wives, so you know how I run my courtroom. We're going to let you guys go into different chambers throughout the afternoon here, and then later today I'll have you all come back in, and if you can't work it out on your own, I will make some sort of a decision through the arbitration process. Now, I want the lawyers to, again, talk to their clients about alimony. They've been married for 17 years. We all know that. Will is 15 years old, so he can't drive yet. He is going to school, so we have to talk about his schooling. Who's going to pay for that? If it's private school, I didn't read all the notes yet, but if it is, we have to take that into consideration when we do child support. If it's a public school, that would be different. So you want to talk about custody, alimony, who's making more money than the other person. Of course, every year you can come back to court and adjust the alimony based on if your income changes. And Will, since you're 15 years old, you have the right to decide on what house you would like to live in as well. I'll make a decision on that also based on what I hear here today, because I want the parent you choose to live with also wants you, and also is responsible to your needs, like how do you get to school, who gets you dinners and foods and lunches and all that good stuff, okay? So if there's any wealth involved, houses, boats, inheritance, please talk with your clients about any of that stuff as well. If there's anything that maybe caused this breakup, you certainly can introduce that into my courtroom as well. Mainly I'm going to be looking at the assets, though, of each individual and how I can best suit both of you and Will, your child. So unless anybody has any questions here, I'm going to let you go into different chambers. He's good? Okay. All right, so then let's start off with Jody, if you want to meet with your mother, and Jason, your lawyer, in chamber 2. The rest of us will go out into the other room. There is a coffee and pastry. It's out there if you'd like. and some other snacks. I'm going to be going into my room and office. I'll be coming back and talking with some of you later, okay? Thank you.
Hey, ladies, thanks for coming. Jody, you brought your mother with you. Michelle, wonderful to see you again.
Yeah. Moral support,
Thank you.
a hard
Nice to
day.
see you too.
Yeah, it's definitely needed in times like this. So I understand that you and Michael have been married for 17 years.
That's correct.
Okay. And how long were you together before you got married?
We were together a good 5 years. We courted for a while, and then he asked for my hand in marriage after about a year. It was a pretty long engagement. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't settle him down. But finally, I did issue an ultimatum, and he did finally decide to settle down and get married. So it's been quite a while, actually, that we've been together. But yeah, 17 years married.
Okay. And what is your job?
I'm more of a stay-at-home mom situation. I do sell Tupperware on the side. It is a legitimate business. Michael doesn't think so, but I do that. I do bring in some money, but I'm more my job duties are more just household at this point. I keep the house looking sparkling for our guests. We do have a lot of guests, so it is a very important job, and Will does need a lot of supervision. So that's my job.
Okay. How much money are you bring? Okay, Michelle, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
I just wanted to say she does a wonderful job. She's a
Right.
lovely.
Aw,
I have
thank
no
you
doubt.
so
It's
much.
like she had a terrific role model.
Well, thank you.
Aw.
Jody, how
My
much
mom has
money?
always been the best hostess, so she taught me well.
Sure, it comes in handy with those Tupperware parties, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
yes.
How much are you pulling in with that Tupperware business of yours?
Some months it is tough. People don't always need Tupperware. They go to Costco, but my stuff is the best. So there are some months where I bring in up to like 500. It just depends on how many parties I book. So
So 500 on a good month. So maybe
yeah,
$5,000 a year or so for your income.
I mean, give or take.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much does Michael bring home?
I mean, who knows? I mean, between all the businesses, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't keep track of that. I mean, we have our bills paid and food's on the table. But that's a question that you should ask Michael.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be discussing that
Mhm.
with his lawyer. Um,
Perfect.
was Tupperware your dream, or did you have aspirations before you and Michael got together?
I was a model.
You were a model.
I was a model, and Michael decided he didn't want me to model anymore. And so Michael, when we got married, part of my ultimatum was he needs to quit with the parties. Michael is a fun-loving guy. He has a lot of different companies and a lot of different parties. And he said, "Fine, if you want me to settle down with you, I'll buy you this amazing house. We'll settle down, but you can't be a model anymore." And so I gave up that dream. And the next best thing for me was Tupperware. Because I like having people in my home. I just don't like the crazy parties that Michael puts on. So we do Tupperware now. So no, it's not my dream.
What were you
But
modeling?
Michael's what?
What were you modeling?
Well, I was a romance novel person.
That's
You
you?
know, yeah,
Oh my goodness.
just more like fantasy. But he didn't like that because he didn't want other people thinking about me in that way, which Michael's a jealous guy. So
Yeah.
naturally, I couldn't do it anymore.
Sounds like you gave up a lot to be with Michael. That's for sure.
I did.
Michelle,
I was promised a lot too, Jason.
what were you promised
I
besides the
was
giving
promised the
party?
parties would end. Okay, so you don't understand. Do you want to go through our assets? Like we have the fun zone, which is our custom party bus that Michael made. He made us get the VW bus and transform it into the party zone. And he drives it around and he
the
picks
fun
up
zone
random
exists?
people.
I see that bus everywhere.
Yeah, he goes to weddings and he picks up like 100 people and he drives them around, gets them all drunk and charges them. And that's how he makes his weekend money. But it's just ridiculous the amount of like coke and the amount of like craziness that happens on those buses, it's just insane. And I know that he's going to get pulled over one of these days, and it's just not safe.
Right.
The jet skis, he has an ice cream truck that he likes to drive around in the summertime, and he hands out like frozen booze popsicles to adults. So I don't know how he gets away with that. Like the hot tub boat that he's always on and he's always renting out. It's just he even has this light bulb that he carries around, and he plugs it into people's house, like anywhere he is, and it creates this disco light situation, and he just starts these parties, and I just like I can't handle it anymore, and then, so I'm just done. But nah, I just can't. He's insane. Like you'll see.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Michelle, I know you want to say something. I see you being a supportive mother over there, but gritting your teeth. You don't approve of this behavior.
Well, absolutely not. It's just disruptive and completely inappropriate for their son. I mean, honestly, who acts like this? He really acts like he's a high school student that happens to have some money. And it's just abhorrent to me that he would treat his wife the way he does after all she's given up for him. It's ridiculous.
And I'm not allowed to be on the party bus, so I don't even know what it looks like. I just see pictures.
And we have absolutely no idea if he's only selling liquor illegally to people over 21. For all we know, he could be selling to minors.
Does he even have a liquor license?
Absolutely not.
No, he brags about it. He says it's funny when all the kids run up and he says, "Oh no, this is for the adults." And then the kids cry. And then the adults laugh. And then he makes tons of money and he gets all these tips because there's this hot chick that drives it around. I don't like
honestly, that sounds like psychological warfare against these poor children.
Totally.
What are you asking for custody?
I mean, William has always been a mama's boy. And William loves mommy. He has to be with me. I mean, if he's with his dad, he's going to end up on the fun zone. He's going to end up in the hot tub boat. He's going to get him involved in whatever his little scheme is of the month. And I don't think that's safe. I don't think it's right. And so I think that I deserve full custody, and I'm asking for $3,000 a month as well in child support on top of that, because I have to sustain this entire household.
And what about for alimony?
I mean, at least 5,000. I mean, our house it's 6,000 square feet. I would prefer the house, and I'm going to need some money to keep the house up, and I'm going to need some money for Will, and saving for his college and things like that, because Will's going to go to a university someday.
I mean, honestly, your property taxes alone are worth more than $5,000, Jody.
Yeah.
What do you estimate the net worth of your home?
I would say a good 3 million.
3 million. Okay. And then do you have other properties? I know we talked about the fun zone, jet skis, and the ice cream truck, but do you have a vacation home? Do you have an RV, boat, anything?
You mean there's the disco barn?
The disco barn.
Yeah. It's a barn.
Okay.
With a giant disco ball in the middle of it. And I don't know what happens there, but it is about 50 miles out into the country, and never been to the disco barn.
Jody,
don't want to go.
Don't forget about the sheep.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with those and the fish pond.
The poor
it's
sheep.
Disgusting. Those poor fish. I don't know what they're doing with them, but I see lots of pictures involving fish.
When you have to wonder, honestly, when you have to wonder about a man that keeps a veterinarian on a stipend.
Oof.
Okay, Paul, please meet with your client Michael in chamber 4.
All right, Paul. I hope you're prepared for this today.
Yeah, I'm extremely
Ready.
prepared.
Good.
Remind me your last name one more time.
Dopovich.
All right. That's an easy adjustment. All right. It's fine. It's no big deal. Why don't you just you know what, you start. I'll I'll play catch up. What you got?
Are you sure you're all right? Are you gonna be able to track what I'm about to say? Because a lot of this stuff is really important, and if we don't do this right, she's just gonna steamroll us with her crazy stories. And her mother, I can only tell you that her mother is such an enabler. It's the same behavior that I've watched happen with my kid, and it's why I bring him to work with me. It's why I gave him a job on the party bus. He sprays the women down for the white t-shirt contests. I'm teaching him real world work, like ethics and like morals about how to make a buck. It doesn't matter if it's at my dance club or my fish. None of it matters as long as he's learning something. She's got him so locked up and kind of like pampered. And if he wants something, oh, mommy will get it. Mommy will go get it. I mean, I can't take it. It's why I drag him out of the house. And I don't think he likes it. So that's just one thing. I just wanted to bring that up because I know she's going to attack me about where I get my money, how I get my money. I mean, nobody complained all these years leading up to it, how the money was there. So now all of a sudden it's like a moral issue. And I take deep offense with that. I mean, it cuts me deep, dude. It cuts me deep.
Right. Yeah. And so before and that was great. I just, from the top, you don't have to shout. Okay. I'm here. So just make note of that.
Okay.
Your son, Tommy? William. Yeah. Right. Got it. William. So he's 15. Is that right? He's 15?
17.
17?
How old is he? He's 15. Yeah, he's 15.
Okay.
I get confused.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
I do so much stuff. I'm glad you're tracking some of this stuff. I see your little rundown. Was it a late night working on the case?
I was doing some research on another
the party bus.
Client, something. There was a bus. I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody said they thought they saw my attorney. I just figured you were there doing some research at the warehouse. I didn't think you were on the bus, but so you saw the show then.
There was a performance of sorts. I think. I don't know.
Those buses, they bring in a lot of money on the weekends. They really do. And this is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about her just grabbing everything she can get. I mean, she makes almost no money selling Tupperware. She has these parties at the house that is so embarrassing when I bring clients by and I walk in and there she is with like this pile of plastic crap on the floor that nobody wants. Nobody's buying it. I mean, why would you buy that crap these days? I don't get it. But she does nothing. She does nothing. And I really want you to go after her on that because there's not been a lot of contributions. She makes it sound like she keeps the house up. It's a joke. It's a joke. Her mom comes and bitches about everything. And then my wife's a mess. And then she yells at me. And my kid goes and hides. It's just a mess.
Right. Now, I do have to ask, do you know what liver failure could potentially feel like? Do you think it's like a shooting pain or is it just like a lingering pain?
Who's got that happening?
It's fine. So what's the warehouse? How is Jody's not involved in this side of the business, right?
All Jody does is nag and ask for money. That's it. I swear that's it. So if I'm at my warehouse, if I'm at the party bus, doesn't matter where I am, she finds me and asks me for money. She doesn't go do it on her own. I mean, this has been the biggest problem. And I'm trying to set a better working example for my kid to follow. I've got all these different businesses. He could step in and assume any of these roles if he had the motivation. But you've met him and you know that he's lacking in a little bit of motivation. Yeah. I mean, the only time I ever saw him get excited was at the wet t-shirt thing on the party bus.
Well,
what 15-year-old William.
Wyatt, he's a 15-year-old boy, so he's gonna be excited about these things. So I mean, it's not, I was 15 once, right? I was 15 once. And right. So I get it. Okay, so as far as it goes, and now custody of Wyatt, is this something that's
William?
Gonna be...
I really think that William needs to live with me more.
William.
At least 70-80% of the year, maybe just the weekends at his mom's. Or if he wants to take an active role on the party bus, then I would need him on the weekend. So then I'd want him half towards the half of the week into the weekend because I need his help on the bus.
Sure. And now what are the hours, what are the prime, kind of peak hours for the bus again?
8 o'clock till 8 o'clock typically. I mean, we run a really good party bus. You're not getting off this thing. Well, let me rephrase that. People do get off on the party bus, but the bus never stops moving.
Right.
That's how we get around the liquor license on the bus. They can't catch us. It's like Dukes of Hazzard. Cross the county, cross this line, cross that line. You're free.
Yeah, much like my mind, the bus continues to race. Now, what liquor license is this? Is that you have that? You have that under LLC or how? I don't know if she's going to want.
Yeah, it's run under an LLC. We printed up a fake certificate. So we, like I said, we drive around the county, and then when we see the police coming, we just go over the county lines, and then they can't touch us. So I don't have a proper license like right now. So we've just been operating a little bit dangerous. But we make so much money, it's hard to not keep doing it. I mean, I kind of addicted to it, to be honest with you.
That works. You just drive over the county line and no issues
all the time. Yeah.
Will, please come into the judge's chamber. Will,
this is good. Huh. Thank you.
Will, please come into the judge's chamber. Michael, could you please leave the chamber? I want to talk to him by myself. Thank you. Okay. So, Will, let's just talk about your feelings about what's happening here.
I really don't care, man. This is all just every day there's a fight. I just don't want to deal with it, man.
Mm-hmm. What do they fight about?
You got a light?
No, you can't light that in here. No, this is indoor. Okay, California, you can't smoke indoors.
Right.
Anywhere in California.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay, don't even pretend. Just take that out of your mouth, because I don't want to open up another can of worms here now. So, what do they fight about?
Money.
Mm-hmm.
Always mom's not making enough money, dad's making too much money, and I don't know, man. Like, I like them both, but like, dad sometimes lets me get away with too much, and mom keeps her house like a museum. It's always cold and clean, and don't get me started on grandma. But they always fight, man, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Does grandma live in the house?
No.
Okay. How often is grandma there?
Every day. She lives down the street.
Okay. Who takes you to school?
I walk myself. They both fight and claim they do, but sometimes they don't even know I'm there.
Hmm.
If I even go to school, I like skipping a lot, but shh.
You shouldn't probably have said that to me. Okay.
Why?
I don't. You're not involved right now with the case, but the more I know, like stuff like that could get you in trouble, because I might have to report you to social services, your family, if you're not showing up to school, and that's a whole other can of worms that you don't want to get into.
I'm going to school.
Okay, great. So you're a sophomore?
What? I don't play baseball.
No. You're a sophomore in school, high school.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you smoke any of that stuff in the parking lot before you came in here?
I sure did. You want some?
No.
I'm smoking the green meanie, man. I got it from Harold down at the 7-Eleven. That shit will get you higher than King Kong's butthole.
Oh, okay. I don't really need to know that, okay? Well, let me ask you about your father. Does he take you on the bus? His fun bus that he lets people drink on?
Yeah. We go on that all the time. He says I'm working, but I think he's trying to get me laid, man. That's like the most exciting part. I get to see,
mm-hmm.
lots of money.
Mm-hmm. So the whole experience on the fun bus is done all in cash?
Yeah. So he can like hide it. He keeps saying he launders money, but like, who washes money?
That's interesting. Okay, let me make a note of that. Okay, how many people are on the bus?
Oh, it depends. Sometimes, like, we get anywhere from like a million people.
Okay.
And they're all just on the bus drinking, and I drink with them. It's awesome.
You drink with the people, so your father lets an underage kid drink on the bus.
I wouldn't call it drinking. It's more like these popsicles with alcohol in them. You should try one. I got a couple in the back of the van.
No, I don't really want to try one, but I might ask you to bring one in, and I'll put it in a freezer so we can use that as evidence. Okay. Do you have a freezer in your van?
It's not mine. It's Dad's, but he says it's going to be mine one day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to drive right now.
You don't have a permit. Who's teaching you how to drive?
Dad lets me just sit on his lap, even though I'm 15. He's like, I'm going to show you. That way he gets around all these. He's great with getting around loopholes with the law. That's why if nobody gets on the bus, it's a tax write-off, he says. It's great. He's teaching me business.
Right, let me ask you this, because I know there can't fit 1 million people on the bus, okay? How many seats does the bus have?
30.
Okay, 30, okay. And how much does each person pay to be on the bus? How much cash? Like $100 and they get the popsicles? I mean, how much what do they pay when they come in? I'm sure that you probably have helped collect the money if you're working on the bus for your dad.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's 150, but if they bring Dad a koi, he cuts the price in half.
A koi fish?
Yeah.
What does your dad do with koi fish? What does he do with koi fish?
Eats it, man. He eats the fish, man. That's what fish are for.
Okay. Have you ever been up to the Disco Barn?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite place.
What goes on at the Disco Barn?
It's a secret. But you want to know?
Yeah, please.
Disco.
I mean, does he sell tickets for people to come into the Disco Barn? He does, okay.
He sells tickets, and that's like $50, and people dance, and they take their clothes off because it's so hot. It's great.
Do you take your clothes off?
Sometimes.
Are there other
only
underage,
when I'm working?
Do they have to be 21 and older to get into the barn? Is alcohol being served in the barn?
Yeah, you got to be 21, man. But I get an exception because I'm his kid. I don't know if you do that or not.
Mm-hmm. So there's alcohol being sold at the barn, or that goes with the $50 entrance fee?
That's right. $50 entrance fee includes 2 drinks. But, man, people drink those as soon as they get in there. He's making a killing. He doesn't have a liquor license.
Mm-hmm. And this is all done with cash again?
Cash, sir. Yes, man.
What would you say the most amount of people you could fit in this barn?
1 million.
Okay, I guess I'm done with you. Okay, listen, it's been great talking with you. Okay, I think I've learned a lot. I'll ask you one more question. If you had to choose what parent you'd want to live with, do you have any preference, or do you want to live with both of them, or what do you want to do there?
If we could make it work where we split the time, I don't mind my dad, even though he's a bit of a hard ass. I love my mom, but she's kind of a bitch.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll definitely take all that into consideration, everything you've told me today, okay? Don't go out in the parking lot. We have cameras, and I don't want you to be picking up on any cameras smoking anything that you shouldn't be out there doing, okay? This is government property, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Do you know who the president is right now? I forget it. Jesus.
No.
Okay.
Shel Silverstein.
Right. Okay. All right. If the lawyers could meet and talk about what your client's needs are, what each person wants in Chamber 7. Chamber 7.
Hey, Paul.
Hey. Yeah. Sorry, I went to 8. Sorry. Had a little trouble with the vision today. It's a cataract thing. Anyway, why don't Why don't you start? And I'll just I'll fill in the gaps. How about that? You go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so my client is asking for $3,000 a month in child support and full custody and $5,000 a month in alimony. Okay.
Keep going.
What are you doing?
It's medicine for my cataracts.
Go ahead and put it in your eyes.
It's like an antibiotic. It's like a liquid thing
for your eyes.
Yeah, it's like you never get like a sinus infection. You don't put stuff up your nose, right? You take antibiotics. Yeah, so it's the same thing. Keep going. I'm listening. 5,000. It tastes really bad. All right, so 5,000 for the for Wyatt, right?
For Will. His name's Will.
Yeah.
Okay. No, yeah, $5,000 a month alimony.
Okay.
Who
is that? Do they have another daughter named Allie?
Alimony. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Alimony, and that's for
to support Jody.
Right. Yeah. No, I know.
Lifestyle that they've created. Right.
I know this.
Okay. And $3,000 a month for child support, but she also wants full custody because your client is a terrible influence.
That's objection. That's complete hearsay.
We're not actually in the courtroom. You don't have to say objection.
Well, I object to what you've said.
Okay. You think that Paul's a good role model? What makes you think that?
Well, first off, he's had some brilliant business ideas. I don't know if you know this, but you don't even have to have a liquor license. You can just drive over the county line. You don't have to have any kind of business license. He's honestly, for the amount of work I have to do and the bullshit I have to deal with this job, I mean, this is what he's doing it sounds much more interesting.
It sounds illegal, Paul.
Not based on the county regulations. It's county by county. It doesn't matter.
Well, we'll see about that. Okay.
Anyway, tell me more about their daughter. Will, tell me more about William. What's going on?
Well, I mean, Will used to be a really good athlete until the last couple of years when he really got involved in his dad's businesses, and then all this kid does seems like he does a lot of drugs. I wouldn't doubt if he drinks alcohol. Are you okay?
I got cataracts, man. I'm telling you, don't get old. Don't get old. So what happened with
you're like 8 years younger than me.
What?
Okay. All right. We also need to talk about the assets. You know about the disco barn, I presume.
Yeah. But just so I make sure I have the same notes, you tell me about the disco barn.
Right. One of their main assets outside of the home is the disco barn.
Right.
It's 50 miles away from where they live. It's some sort of barn. Jody's never even been allowed there. So we don't know what happens there. I'm just finding out about this. So this is something that we're gonna need to investigate further. But this disco barn is what they call it.
Yeah.
It sounds like Paul has parties there. He has sheep, and we haven't even gotten a total of how many sheep actually live there, right? And then apparently there's a pond with some fish.
What do you think we should head out there right now? Sounds important. I think we should look at it.
I think that we definitely need. I think what would probably be better to have an independent investigator go out there.
Yeah, these guys are always so lame, though. Anyway,
I think that'd be the most impartial.
It's the barn is. What do you mean? It's not a full barn. What do you mean? It's a partial barn.
The most impartial way to do this would be have an independent investigator, have some sort of estimator go out there, assess the property, assess the sheep and the fish, and figure out some sort of total. How much is this worth?
Right.
right?
Yes, because like as far as completing the roof, because it's just partial, how much is that worth? You're saying like a estimate on like building supplies? That's for the alimony.
Sure. What do you have?
Well, I've got a disco barn. It's 50 miles outside of town, and there's some sheep. There's a pond with some fish. And we're not sure how many sheep actually live there. Could be 50. Could be 100. Could be 2. We're not sure. Again, we're not sure on the numbers. And I think that there could be. It appears that some of it could be impartial. That's what I have so far.
You literally just repeated everything that I just told you.
Well, that was the point of this, to make sure we had the same notes. I told you that at the beginning.
Jody, please meet with your child, William, and your mother, Michelle, in chamber 9.
Will, oh, how are you, baby? Are
Hi,
you
Will.
okay, bud?
I'm good.
Will, are you high?
Baby.
What?
Yeah.
Are you
What
high
are you
right
talking
now?
about, honey?
I'm higher than Godzilla's eyes.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
William, oh God, not here, William. We talked about this, bud. We
Mom.
talked about this. You were supposed to wait until.
Do you know it's illegal for you to be
buddy.
high right now? You're only 15.
Grandma, can you please just shut your mouth?
William.
Excuse me, young man.
Oh my gosh, she's such
William.
a PITC.
No, hey, William, that is
Well,
your
at least
nana.
we know he can
That is your
spell.
nana.
I can
That is your
smell.
nana.
Lord, he is higher than 3 kites in the sky.
Yeah. William, I need you to just get a drink of water, buddy. Okay? Get a drink of water and do not talk to Nana that way, buddy. Okay?
Okay.
Will not
can you
stand
just
for
rein
that.
it in? Rein it in.
Mom, can we go
What?
home?
I'm trying, buddy. We're trying to do that, but what we need to get through this day, okay? We need to get through it together. We're a team. Okay? And then we get to wear those pajamas tonight after court, okay? The matching ones.
Okay.
Darling, he is 15. He is not 5. You do not
Grandma,
have to fight him.
He likes it, Mom.
Can we get
Lay
ice
off.
cream after this, Grandma?
Oh my God.
We sure can, honey, as long as you're sober.
Can you just stop being a bitch?
William.
I don't know. Can you stop being a little asshole?
No.
You guys, please stop.
Yeah.
We are in a
Did I say
courtroom.
that out loud? Oh my goodness.
Mom, can
Boy,
we
just
get drinks,
vexes me.
please?
I don't understand how you let this boy talk this way.
I don't, Mom. This is his father's actions. This is Michael. This is Michael talking. Have you heard me say a cuss word ever, Mom? Ever.
Well, no, actually, in that regard, you do not take after your mother,
No.
for which I am glad.
No. I have morals, okay? I don't do that.
Excuse me? Are you trying to imply that I do not have morals, young lady?
I'm
No,
trying
I
to
know you
imply
have
you're
morals.
a bitch.
Look,
William.
one more of those out of you, and we're going to take you outside in the back, and you're going to get a paddle.
No.
Oh, yes.
William, I need you to hand Mommy whatever's in your pocket right now.
I don't have
He still
anything.
call you mommy?
Sometimes he does, and it is okay because he's only 15 years old. Once you reach 18, then it's Mom. Okay? But I need you to
Will?
hand me what's in your pocket, William.
I don't have nothing.
Do your friends know that you still call your mother mommy?
And they know that I call Grandma a bitch.
That's it.
Okay, Paul, Michael, please meet with Will, your son, in chamber 8.
Hey, buddy.
Dad.
How you holding up? Mom and Grandma driving you crazy, or are they going easy on you?
Mom's fine. Grandma's just being a bitch.
Okay. Well, remember what we talked about, okay? If we want to keep some of the money for ourselves, we've got to keep things. Remember what we talked about? Hidden, right? Don't want everybody to know where the money is.
Yeah.
You remember that conversation?
No, man.
Oh.
Dad, can you give me more weed? I need it.
I told you who to talk to at the club.
I don't want to
why
talk
it's so
to
complicated. I guess I'm gonna have to make you like a 1, 2, 3 cheat sheet just so we can get you to get through the day to do the tasks. Otherwise, listen, how am I supposed to keep you employed and on my side with custody if you're letting your mom, badmouth me like this? They're just going to give you to her 100%. Is that what you want?
Dad, you don't even know me.
Well,
all you do is you act like you do. You gave me a job because you wanted to show that you're better than Mom.
Yeah, that's right.
But you don't give a shit about me.
That's not true. I love you. I love you more than anything on the planet. The
How old
biggest
am I?
problem is I have to deal with your mother and her mother, and they drive me insane. I love you. I don't know where you get the idea that you think I don't. I have strict rules, and I'm trying to teach you how to run the family business. I don't care if you get high and fool around. That doesn't matter to me. I didn't finish high school. Look at all the businesses I've started and owned, and look at the nice house we have. I hustle. I make things happen, and I want to set you up for the same success. I can't do it for your mom. I tried. God help me, I tried.
You always have to do these things. You always argue with her. I just want everybody to be happy for once.
Well, maybe we'll be happy when we're not married.
That
might be the first time.
Nobody asked me about what I want. You guys just went off and did your own thing.
We fought this for a long time. We didn't want to do it. We tried to stay together as a happy family, and it wasn't working. That's part of life. This is where we are. So if you want to have all of the nice things you've talked about, the car that you want, and where you want to have a different apartment in different cities in Europe, how are we supposed to get you there if I don't get you on my side and show that you're working hard at the family business? Mom doesn't need to know what goes on at the disco barn. That's why we put it so far away, so she can't come up and nag me all the time. She used to just come in the store and stand there. It drive me crazy.
Dad, can we get ice cream on the way home?
You want to get ice cream?
Yeah.
I'll get you some ice cream if that'll make it feel better. Did you smoke that joint?
What?
Did you smoke that joint you rolled in the car on the way over? You did, didn't you?
No.
You better hope the judge doesn't figure it out.
What? That I
gonna come down on me.
If the lawyers could meet with me in the judge's chamber, both lawyers, please come in to talk with me in my chamber. Okay. All right. So let's start with Jason. What was your client asking for?
My client was asking for $3,000 a month in child support, full custody, $5,000 per month in alimony, and she would like to keep the home. And then there's these assets. I'm not sure if you're familiar, Your Honor. This place called the Disco Barn.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Yes,
aware of that. And there's sheep and fish. We don't know how many of each there are there. So I would like to.
We're sending somebody up there right now. They're going to be texting me how many sheep they see and how many koi fish they see, how big the pond is. They're also going to give me they're looking at the acreage and the value of that property.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
And that's it? Did you know the value of the house?
The house is valued at approximately $3 million.
And the house was purchased after they got married?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do believe that the alimony is, that's a very conservative request, given the amount that Jody has given up. She makes about $5,000 a year in her Tupperware business, and she had a very successful modeling career before she met Michael. So she gave up a lot.
Yeah, I looked at the house is fully paid off, and the property taxes, because you bought the house 16 and a half years ago after you got married. The property tax, you had a 15-year loan, so that was just paid off, and the property taxes are approximately about $15,000 a year. The insurance for the house is $3,000, so it's $18,000 a year in those expenses. That's not counting utilities or anything. So I would say that probably the upkeep on the house, you're probably looking at about $30,000 a year. So $5,000 is only 60, which means 30 is for her to live on. 30 would be you have to pay off the bills of the house. Sorry, that's, I just want to understand your figure.
That's what my client requested. I think that we can go up on that number, especially given, I know this is a civil matter, Your Honor, but I'm concerned that Michael is doing a lot of illegal activities. Okay, I don't know if
Michael. So what specifically? Can you give me any specifics on that?
Well, he has this party bus that he drives around. Calls it the Fun Zone. He drives that around, apparently serving alcohol, and he jumps around different county lines. So I'm not sure exactly whose jurisdiction that would fall under. But he doesn't have a liquor license for that from what we were able to dig up. He also has this ice cream truck that he drives around in the summer and has a very similar business model. Again, alcohol, no liquor license.
Okay. All right. Paul,
Yes.
you
Yes,
smell
Your
like, it smells like some alcohol. Remember we talked about you went to rehab and you were going to be off the alcohol. It smells like
I've recently started a new antibiotic for my cataracts, and it is strong. It is very strong. So it is that is what you smell, Your Honor. So
bourbon?
No, thank you.
No. That's what I smell. I smell bourbon. So I'm just wondering how bourbon helps cataracts.
Oh, that's my cologne, Your Honor. It's quite nice. I got it actually on the. I visited an establishment recently, and the little, you put a quarter in, you pull the lever, and I'm quite liking it. Honestly, it's been a pretty big hit so far out on the town. Now, as far as the property goes, the Disco Barn, I really wanted to see it. Do you think that I could? Do you think if I leave now, I could beat?
No, you have to stay here. No, you have to stay here. We're getting the Disco Barn appraised right now. We've sent people out there. They're going to be texting me back or calling me with that information, with photos. We're getting that. We have aerial drone photos coming out there so we can count the sheep. It's being taken care of right now, so you'll be able to see those photos.
I don't want to ruin the surprise. You are aware that it's impartial. That it's not a full barn, right? There's apparently some roof. Jason Craig, there's some roof areas that need to be filled in. That's the notes that you shared with me.
That's not what I said, Paul.
That's the information he relayed to me, so I'm at the mercy of the misinformation.
An impartial roof. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll look at the drone photos, and we'll see what you're talking about there. It seems I just
want us all to be informed, and if Jason can't provide the right information, then that's something you may have to handle.
Your Honor, I think he's misunderstood. I told him that I would request someone impartial to view the barn, and I think maybe his cataracts medicine is working on him a little bit.
Right. Paul, you're not drawing like all the SpongeBob characters again, because last time you told me you were taking notes and you were drawing all the characters from SpongeBob.
No, actually, I am not. No, see, clearly I have plenty of. There's no characters, But
what is the child's name? What Paul?
Well, there's two. It turns out there's two. There's William, and then there was a daughter we haven't mentioned named Allie.
No, there's no daughter.
Middle name Moni. Allie Moni.
That's what they're asking for. You heard what he's asking for. Are you asking for custody? Does Michael want custody of his son?
I would not like to be in custody.
No. What percentage would Michael like to have his son with him? Half the time, 70% of the time, 100% of the time?
I think that's kind of I think he wants his son in one piece. I would say 100%. He wants his son 100%. I don't think he wants to. It's very morbid, Your Honor.
Okay. You haven't started your dialysis yet, have you?
No, cataracts. I have cataracts.
Well, apparently you went into rehab because you had something wrong with your liver.
Yeah. So I asked Jonathan this. Is it a shooting pain or is it a lingering pain for liver failure?
It's shooting.
Mm-hmm. So I think we're all right. It's just, but it's been, what about a lingering shooting pain?
That could fall into that category. I think you should probably go see a doctor after you leave.
Well, it's not me. It's another case that I'm working. You know, TV has gotten crazy good lately. So anyway.
All right, can you stop wandering? I mean, you're just all over the place. So
you're the one asking questions. I'm simply answering what you're asking.
Okay. All right, I think I've got an idea what you guys want. Okay, I got the alimony, the support. You don't know if he wants custody or not. You don't want to be in custody, and for all I know, your custodial account is gone. Okay, so it's great talking with you both. Paul, Jason, do you have something you want to add?
Just one quick. I redid those figures after you mentioned the insurance and all that stuff. We would like Michael to cover all that, and then $5,000.
The $30,000. Okay, the cost of the house. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Paul. If you could send in your clients, I'd appreciate that.
You're very welcome, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you. The door's that way. Okay, all right, Jody and Michael. I just talked to your lawyers. I got to ask you, Michael, where did you find your lawyer?
Yeah, it's a good question. This might be the last time I ever
probably Craigslist. Knowing Michael, probably Craigslist, Your Honor.
I actually he's been a very active participant on my buses, and someone told me he's a lawyer. I reached out to him. I offered him a partnership into the business because I knew this was going to be so expensive, this whole thing, that I thought, let me cut this guy in and it won't cost me anything, out of pocket. But now I'm just wondering if we should restart this whole trial with better representation, unless the court's trying to bury me. Because if that's the case, I'm screwed with this guy. He's clearly out of his mind. I mean, he's an alcoholic that needs help.
Well, I have all the, we're getting all the facts in about
we didn't even get a chance to talk about custody and child support on my side. So none of that even was brought up. He's just like in his own planet. I don't even know if he knows we're in court today. So,
Well, I saw your paperwork because I asked you guys to send me some stuff before. You said you'd like your son about 70 to 80% of the time.
Yeah.
And then Jody wants Will 100% of the time because she feels that you're not a good influence.
Well, no, that's the codependent.
Your Honor,
no
look
more
at who
issue.
he hires. Look at who he hires, Your Honor. I mean, look at his decision-making capabilities.
Let's talk about that. Someone that thought she was a model, hand model at Kmart. Not even that department store's not even around anymore. That's how long ago it was. This woman lives in another planet.
Oh, come on.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jody. Go ahead. You want to say something?
I mean, he knows I'm the cover model of that series. The entire series of 10 different books. Come on. I mean, each one I got paid at least $1,000.
Yeah,
and then my modeling career halted because of you. And it kind of kept going. So
it's halted because you nagged everybody on the set. Nobody wanted to hire you anymore.
Oh,
nobody wants you anymore. Not even your kids.
You were jealous.
Okay, this is somewhat irrelevant to my decision making. I'll take into consideration that you gave up your career to be a full-time wife and mother and housekeeper and to take care of your son. So I'm definitely taking that into consideration, okay?
And did you see the photos of the house, Your Honor? How sparkly clean it is all the time?
Yes, I did see the pictures of the house. It does look clean. It was ironic because when I looked through one of the pictures, it was your mother who was doing the vacuuming and dusting.
That too.
There's a photo of my mother dusting?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know how that one got in there, but sometimes she does help.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. But the funny thing is, I went back to look how some of the mortgage payments were paid off, and they were all cashier's checks. There was no actual checks. So I tried to look and see if I could get some sort of an accounting of your finances, Michael, and I just don't know.
We keep things kind of loose, and we just keep the machine rolling and take care of things as they pop up. I don't really trust the banks that much, so I keep things a lot.
Where is the money then? Where's your money?
Well, right now, we lost a lot last year. We lost about 95% of what we had, and it's been a real struggle this last year.
How did you lose it? Where did it go?
Well, somebody found out that I don't keep it in the bank, and
I wasn't aware of this, Michael. Like, why didn't you tell me about this?
Well, maybe I should have.
You think? Yeah, we are married.
I was just afraid that she would take whatever's left, and I don't really have that much left right now. So
okay,
that's why I've been a little stressed.
We have people digging deep into your accounting. Anytime you got a cashier's check, we looked into. Your son kind of helped me with how much you charge cash to go on to the barn, and how much you charge for people to go into.
What happens at the barn, Michael? Like, you still haven't told.
It's just a disco. It's a farm themed disco. It's
Are
very
there
unique.
Animals? Like, what do you mean?
We got all sorts of animals. It's really fun. It kind of adds a whole new layer. Nobody's doing it. I mean, I'm always looking for something that nobody else has done. This is it. This is it. The farm disco barn.
Your Honor, are there photos of the barn? Because
yes, we're getting those. We're getting all those. They'll be here, and when I make my final judgment, I'll see exactly what's going on with the sheep, the koi fish, the barn.
Those are real money makers.
We're going into the banks to find out, because you had different accounts, so we're going into those to try and figure out where that is, and we're also going to be looking and see if there's any offshore money. Okay, so I appreciate you guys coming in. If you could send your mother in, Jody. Thank you, Michael. You guys can talk outside now. Wow. Okay, Michelle, I'd like to get your feeling on, you've been to the house apparently quite a bit. Let me ask you this. Do you do most of the cleaning of the house?
No, Your Honor. I help out from time to time. It is a large estate, and so I do want to help my daughter when I can.
For the cooking, do you cook? Does she cook? Do you get to take out? Do you go out and eat? What in terms of
all of the above, Your Honor? I'm guilty.
Okay, I see. Does Jody cook mainly, or do
Absolutely.
you?
I mean, we cook, we try to get Will involved if we can, but that boy, I swear, he is always high. It's ridiculous.
Do you know where he's getting his weed?
Well, coincidentally, it seems to occur most often whenever he's around his father.
I see. So every time he comes back from his father, he has more weed.
Well, I'm not saying that I frisk the boy, Your Honor, but he does reek.
I see. Okay. Do you let him? Does he smoke in the house?
Absolutely not. Okay. Not to my knowledge. Okay. My daughter might know more than I because I don't live there.
Have you gone out to have dinners with the family? Michael's there as well. I'm assuming you have.
Well, I feel like that hasn't happened in quite a while, Your Honor.
But when it did happen, how did Michael pay? Did he pay with a credit card, with cash? How did he pay?
Cash, Your Honor. It's always cash.
So everything he does is cash. So when Jody needs money, he gives her cash? He doesn't give her a credit card or anything? It's always cash?
To the best of my recollection, yes. I mean, I don't, question my daughter about how her husband gives her money. I'm just concerned if she tells me she doesn't have anything that she needs. That's all.
Okay. Is there any safes or any lock boxes in the house that may have cash in them?
I do not know that, Your Honor. I do know that my daughter keeps a safety deposit box at the bank, but I have no idea what's in it.
We'll We'll look into that. Okay. What bank is that?
I believe it's Wells Fargo.
Okay. Do you know the branch in your town?
No, Your Honor. I mean, you can go to any branch to do your banking.
Right. I just want to know where the safe deposit box is because I can have one of my clerks go down and see what's in that.
Oh, you'd have to ask her, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. We can probably find that information out. Okay. Well, listen, it's been really nice chatting with you. If you could send, do you have something you want to say before you leave?
Well, yes. I just feel like, Will was a lovely boy, and he used to be top of his class until his father started all these wild businesses. And he has this poor boy working 12 hours, and that's just not right. I'm sure that's illegal, Your Honor. He is only 15. And he definitely is not supposed to be working after 10 o'clock at night. My goodness. I mean, even if the child had a job at Jack in the Box, he wouldn't be there for 12 hours a day. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about the 8 to 8 bus, the fun bus.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
When he's there, I have no idea how long he's at the barn.
Has he ever told you how he gets paid?
Well, I'm assuming it might be some combination of cash and weed.
I see. Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much for adding that. I'm going to make those notes. And if you could send Will in right now, that'd be great. Thanks so much.
No problem, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Will. No, Will. Okay, we're not
like
watching a
real.
3D.
Come here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, could you take the joint out of your mouth and the glasses off?
What joint?
Whatever's in your mouth, just drop it. Open your mouth and let it fall. Yeah, let it fall there. Thank you. Okay. So, when you were working on the bus for the 12 hours on Saturdays or whatever, Sunday, weekends, whenever you did the bus, how did your father pay you?
With money. What else are you gonna pay me with?
Okay, so was that in cash?
Yeah.
And how much cash, like it's a 12-hour day, how much cash would he give you?
$50.
$50 for 12 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he give you anything else to go along with that or pay for anything else for you, like weed, for example? Did he buy your weed?
I can have as much weed as I want, he said, and I can have as many of those popsicles as I want. And they're shaped like Daniel Craig. It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's amazing you know that name. So, going back again, your father was interested in having you around 70 to 80% of the time, and your mother wants you 100% of the time. I just want to know how you feel about that.
I feel good.
Are you smelling the pen? Don't smell the pen. Okay, don't. And that's actually my pen you got off one of my chambers. No, don't do that. Don't smell the. Okay. Wow. All right. So you walk to school from the house. What if you had to live with your dad and he was in a different neighborhood and you had to switch schools? How would that make you feel?
I would like to go to a different school. I don't want to stay with Dad, though, at that, because sometimes he stays at the disco bar and he goes from dusk till dawn and he stays with all the people that are half naked.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so green?
Okay. What are the sheep for?
Petting.
So he's got a petting zoo.
If that's what you want to call it, man.
There's more than petting going on with sheep?
He was teaching me how to become a man one day. I have my favorites.
Okay.
You betcha.
Is that something he's doing as well when people come to the bar?
Yeah, $25.
So everybody gets their own sheep?
And you can just...
Okay, that's enough. All right, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to let the lawyers, if you could please meet with your clients in Chamber 11, and then I'll be meeting with you after that. Thank you very much.
Hey, J-Bone.
I need the two husband and wife, please come in. And if you guys can't work it out, then I will take care of it. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Oh.
Paul, what have you and Michael changed your numbers at all? Because what we talked about before isn't going to work.
Well, why not? I'll get what go ahead. Wow, you start.
I mean, it seems like you weren't throwing out a lot of figures. You were mostly just repeating everything that I was saying, not really offering any sort of compromise. Jody still wants full custody, wants $3,000 a month for child support, would like $5,000 a month for alimony. We'd also like Michael to pay the insurance and the taxes at the home as well.
Do your stuff there, Paul.
Well, clearly, based on the reaction here, that's not going to work. So, try again.
Why don't you throw something out? Let's see how far apart we are.
Well, I think that first off, I feel lied to because alimony is not a person; it's a payment. So, go ahead and jot that down. That I was once again lied to in this process, which you're not supposed to do. That's perjury, for the record. But it's fine. Just add it to your list of flaws.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Michael, where did you find this guy again? The party zone?
Trying to get through today, you guys. I'm just trying to get through.
How about this?
Michael.
How about we make it an even baker's dozen, 1,300?
1,300 what?
I'm offering.
Sheep.
1,300 sheep? What are you
Not
talking
my sheep. They're off the table. Nobody gets the sheep.
How many sheep
Let's
are
get
there?
back to the numbers.
No, dude, the house.
Paul, you need to discuss some of the things that we talked about.
Right.
These numbers are not happening. How
All
can
right.
you let them steamroll me like this? Everybody's taking advantage.
Okay, so first off, I was served something called snake juice last night, and clearly it's affected my cataracts, and I'm having a little bit of a flashback. All right, called PTSD from my fraternity days. Anyway,
I'm suffering PTSD from you representation.
all right. Well, there's no need to get personal. All right. Okay, you're the one going through a divorce, and maybe I see why.
I just think I could probably handle this on my own without.
What are we
my
doing?
attorney.
Yeah, maybe
It's
be your own
insane.
lawyer at this point because I'm tired. Okay, I want to go home. We need to get William some ice cream.
Michael,
We need to talk to the judge.
Paul, may I speak to your client?
On the record, of course.
Michael, what are you offering?
Well, what we discussed was me having 100% custody, getting the child away from the mother and her destructive, over codependent behavior that just is a trickle down from her mother. So I was asking for full custody, and I needed her to pay child support, no alimony, just child support to cover his clothing, his tuition, his classes that he doesn't even go to. So that's what I was asking for, and clearly my attorney is not able.
I have it written down. Look,
I'm confused with what income, Michael, can I pay you child support with? Like,
Tell me the real
the
story
modeling
about
income?
your Tupperware money. How are these parties happening? Where's the money really coming from? That's what I want to know.
Give me some tips on your party suggestions
If
to
you
make my
listen,
party
maybe
even
you would
better.
have some tips. I don't know where you're getting your money.
Okay, if you could all please come into the judge's chambers. We can have Will please come in as well. Take that out of your mouth, Will. Okay, you look like a rhino. Okay, all right. I've looked over all the facts. We were able to get pictures of the, it's a 7-acre disco barn. The disco barn is approximately 2,000 square feet. It's been renovated quite nicely. We got inside pictures of that. There's actually a side bedroom. And then there's other rooms people can go in. with curtains that are pulled. We also found out that each one of them also has gates that sheep can go into from the other side. We counted approximately 128 sheep. Some had been sheared. Some weren't walking very well. Some were actually had to be sitting down or laying down. It seems like they had a hard time getting up. We also saw a koi pond with a number of pretty rare koi fish in there. And then we also saw a sushi bar inside the the barn, disco barn. Apparently you were selling koi sushi, very rare koi sushi that's hard to get. We've also come to the conclusion that you've been operating all your businesses, Michael, in cash. We did look at the cashier's checks that, for how you paid off the house. That's been going on for quite a long time. Apparently you had a store at one point, maybe 10 years ago, and then we were actually seeing real checks generated from the store. And then when you started this food bus and the ice cream truck and the disco barn and all these things combined, thanks to your son Will, he told me they're all cash businesses. And that some of you are maybe hiding some of the cash or
not hiding anything, Your Honor. Not hiding anything. We find it makes the business more loose, and I don't have to wait for a bank if I want to do something. I've got the cash right there.
Right.
Bank, it's done.
All right. Well, listen, we've come to some conclusions here. I think, first of all, let's just get right to the point. Jody's going to get full custody. We don't think your father's a good example. We're also going to send Will to rehab so he can get off alcohol and marijuana. I don't know what other drugs he's in, but you'll be going to rehab right after school. We're going to send someone to school with you to make like a guardian who will then take you to school and then take you from school right directly into your rehab. And whatever other doctors or maybe therapists we might want to send you to. All that will be paid for by Michael's. We're going to sell the disco barn with all its acreage and all the sheep. We're going to we can't have you doing what you're doing with the sheep. The koi will all be sent to another Japanese garden. All that will be liquidated, and that money will then be used to help pay for some of the support for Will, the guardian who's going to be with him, the rehab center, and also any back taxes, because we're going to refer your case to the IRS after this about all the cash payments that you have been making. So we're going to go back and find out how long you've been laundering cash. We're also going to ask somebody to go into all your the barn, and we're going to check and see if there's any safes or any underground bunkers or anything with money in there. We have equipment infrared that we can go and see if there's anything underneath that we might find where some of this cash may be hidden. We're going to give the house fully to Jody. The house is paid off, Jody. So you don't have to worry about if you have trouble financially, you can sell the house. It's worth $3 million, and you can liquidate the house. We suggest that you keep the house for at least 3 more years until Will graduates, if he does graduate, or maybe might be 20 or 25. I'm not sure when he'll graduate, whenever that is. I don't think that's really funny, Will. I think that's terrible. It's tragic. Okay, Paul, we're going to refer you to the Bar Association to review your license. Apparently, there was a number of complaints about you that have come in from Michael's side, and we then looked back and found out that you've been having these things where you're making excuses. You don't have cataracts. You don't have cataracts. You're drinking alcohol in my courtroom. In fact, we found out, we have photos of you down at the corner liquor store buying bourbon. earlier in the day, and we saw you in your car put it into a flask. We have cameras in all the parking lots. So, I don't want to see you in my courtroom until you get yourself cleaned up. This is a second warning. We already sent you out once before. Okay.
Which bar do you want me? Is it the Howie's on 5th with the 2-for-1? Does I report there?
We'll have our clerk give you a note with the exact directions, GPS for you. But it's not a bar where you're going to be drinking. It's a bar where you're going to need to probably go to rehab again, okay, before I can have you back in my courtroom. So I'm sorry, Michael, he kind of screwed up your case, but we also found out that I don't think it would have made any difference what lawyer you had, because some of your dark past about all this money and then the sheep, and some of these sheep, we went and found out they're on the internet, some of these sheep with these people.
I'm an entertainer, Your Honor, and that's how I make my money. And I don't have any, guilt or remorse about what I do for my money. Okay. They can have my dirty money that they seem to not want. This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you had to hear all this, Mom, but we're going to ask that you, go out of your apartment and help with her and move into one of the rooms to help with Jody for the next 3 years. Can you do that, Mom?
Absolutely, Your Honor. I thank you so much, and I pray for that lawyer, Paul. He needs Jesus.
Jason, I'd like to recommend that you did an excellent job on this, and I will be letting the law board know that we might consider putting you in one of our positions to help with more cases. You did a wonderful job today. This case is closed. And that's our show. All right, let's introduce our cast. So now you can relax, Michael. We're not taking everything from you anymore. Michael, it's getting too real for you. You're going, oh my God, I got to get out of here and go on the run with my son. And let's give it up for Jody, the wife.
Thank you so much. This was funny. I was cracking up the whole time.
Michael, the husband.
Hey, really fun. Paul had me cracking up the whole time. My dysfunctional attorney couldn't have been any better.
We have Jason, the wife's lawyer.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate that.
Paul, the dysfunctional husband's lawyer.
Yeah, what's really funny is that I'm just wearing running shorts and Crocs, so I look like a really dysfunctional lawyer. I'm fully typecast for this one.
Yeah, Will, who actually has never smoked weed in his life.
Can Paul be my guardian?
And Michelle, the wife's mother.
Thank you for this journey into Dysfunction Junction. It was a joy.
Well, if you think this is dysfunctional, in 4 weeks from now, we're going to do the retreat, family retreat, where you get to all tell each other your secrets and how you really feel about each other. And there'll be counselors on hand to deal with it. So mom can really find out how the kid feels, or the husband and wife can really feel how they feel about each other. Is one of them having an affair? We'll find out in 4 weeks. So come back in 4 weeks and see the family retreat. And wave goodbye, everybody. We'll see you in 4 weeks with a brand new show. Thanks for watching tonight.